Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity, a show about weirdos. With your hosts, John Fahey, Aaron Peter, and Matt Brousseau.
Now I got another Irish lout for you.
Oh, God. It must be Irish month.
It just so happens that a lot of people around this time were Irish crazy people.
Yes, they certainly were.
Now, our last guy, One Lung.
John Curran,
One Lung Curran. He was, basically started NWA as far as I'm concerned. You know, anti-cop rhymes.
I do not like the police.
This guy was named One-Eyed.
One-Eyed.
One-Eyed Connelly. James One-Eyed Connelly.
Oh, Jimmy One-Eye.
TLC, yeah.
And he was
Left eye.
he was a boxer, and he lost his eye doing that.
God, bare knuckle, eh?
Yeah.
The bare knuckle. My accents are off tonight. Sorry.
And so he said, I'm going to take me other eye to see the world.
Oh, that's nice.
Hey.
Which is a little treat for himself.
Yeah.
Hey.
And so he said, he would tell people that he saw every heavyweight championship fight since 1897, except for 3 he didn't give a fuck about.
That's very convenient.
But all without paying. Because he said, sports owes me on account of the eye.
Yeah. He should get half price for every position, really.
He went all over the United States, Australia, and Europe on these missions to what they called gate crashing.
Mm-hmm.
And he said to his friends in New York he's going to go to Carson City, Nevada to witness the championship fight between Bob Fitzsimmons and Gentleman Jim Corbett. And
Gentleman Jim.
Yeah, he was a big one.
And his friends are like, you don't even got a fucking eye, dude. You know what I mean? They're like, fuck you.
He's like, I do have an eye.
Yeah, he's got
Sports.
And he was broke. And so he bets all these guys in New York that he can get in. Right? These New York bar bets. And he rides the freight cars all the way to Nevada.
Yeah.
And then he goes up to the promoter of the fight, whose name is Dan Stewart.
Stewart.
And he says,
No vowels.
he's like, I was just in a bar. And he goes, there's a couple of heavies, and they're going to kill the ref, George Seiler.
No.
If it the fight doesn't go the way their bets are. And he said they're gonna kill him from the side of the ring. And so this guy goes, he's like, can you tell me who they are? And he's like, not by name. He's like, I know their faces.
Brilliant.
Got me one good eye.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's my face's eye.
He's like, if I see them again. So they sit him like fucking ringside.
Oh, brilliant.
I'll keep an eye out.
Yeah, yeah.
How do you think I got this way? The last fight, I kept an eye out and never got it back.
So he watches this fucking 14-round fight. It's a great time, And
He's hooting and hollering like the Irish.
Stewart goes, he's like, I've been conned by a cocky Irishman, and apparently he was so mad about it that word reached all the way back to New York, and then One-Eyed Connelly was able to collect on all of his bets. And
Wow, he really fucking played him.
Yeah, he really did.
Tell everybody how fucking bad you got fucked
So now,
by a one-eyed donkey.
oh yeah, and
Make sure you tell your friends. Tell your friends about me.
and this thing is that there was still like this Wild West respect for the hustle and
Yeah.
and trying to out hustle the hustler. So the promoters would be like, he's not getting into my fight, I'll tell you that, because we know he's a fucking con man. And so and then he told the newspaper guys, he's like, I'll get in. I'll get in. No problem. It's not gonna be a problem.
He just drew an eye on his other eyelid.
It's too high.
You can't be. It's two-eyed.
At one fight, he goes through with like a case full of money. It's fake money.
Funny.
And he goes, he's like, it's box office change. Guy lets him in, right? Just sees a fucking
The day
makes a lot of sense. It's like stuff you don't let's get this guy out of here. He's got all this money. He can get stolen,
sure.
right?
Yeah, you walk in with a ladder anywhere.
Yeah.
2 guys on a ladder can get in anywhere.
Come
And
get into my
in
apartment.
between, he's like a waiter here. He's doing this and that there. But anytime it's like a big thing comes up, he'll ditch whatever job and just go get to it. And then it's like, he probably has, some money coming in from the media attention from it, as well as betting people he can do these things. And so the promoter in this fight in Milwaukee says, he's like, I'm going to do everything I can to keep him out. And so he just goes in the night before and climbs up into like the rafters, and he ties himself
Like
to,
Sting?
Exactly like Sting. And he ties himself to like a steel girder because he's like, I don't want to fall
When I fall asleep.
when I fall asleep. And so
I can't sleep with one eye open.
So during the fight, he's watching from the fucking sky. And then somebody in the audience sees him, and they point him out, and then the crowd does a standing ovation. Because they're like, he fucking got in. King!
Yeah. He got in! This one I call him!
Yeah.
He's a real slobber knocker up there.
And he's strapped to the
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
girders like a fucking lunatic.
Incredible.
And then the public demanded that the promoter buy him a steak dinner. They were just like, he got you, dude. Fuck you. You need to fucking take care of him,
Only one prize we all agree on.
And so then he's a fucking stowaway in 1908 on a ship to Australia. No payment.
Was there a fight in
And
Australia?
don't forget, like, he's not a small guy.
Right, he was a boxer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he gets caught, and he's got to work on board to pay for the ticket.
Honestly, sounds like a good deal.
Yeah, not the bad. Not
Which
the
is fine
worst.
because he's also a big, strong lout. You know what I mean?
Yeah, get him fucking hoist the jib or whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Gets in there, walks up with a box that says boxing gloves. Walks
Put the B backwards and shit.
walks right in.
BOCKINGS.
Boxing gloves.
And so after the First World War, he goes to England, but for the Battle of Joe Beckett and Carpentier. And
A Frenchman?
yeah.
They-
And he makes it to ringside, and
Lou boxing gloves. That's what it is.
and he meets the fucking Prince of Wales, who is later King Edward.
No shit.
Yeah, and King Edward is so like amazed by him that he gives him like a piece of gold, and it just so happens while he's dealing with the future king that the knockout blow happens. So he went all the way. To
And
he missed the fucking thing. And so then it's Jack Dempsey and Carpentier in 1921 in Jersey City.
Was it Georges Carpentier?
Yes. And he gets removed from 13 entrances. He makes it into the 14th.
No shit.
That's why only one entrance. You can't trust.
And some telegraph crew is around, and he borrows a big old thermos of coffee and a bunch of sandwiches, and they just think he's a vendor. And he goes right through. And now in Montana, Dempsey's going to go up against Tom Gibbons in 23, and he goes through with an 80-pound block of ice. Just walks through.
Well, I mean, to be fair,
Hey, we need the,
back then, an 80.
I meant
a
you
big
were
block-
somebody going somewhere.
And also, they need it.
Yeah.
They definitely need it.
For all that sperm.
So then, now he's like so famous that people are like, all right, well, he's going to be there.
Yeah.
And it'd be kind of sad if he wasn't, right?
Yeah, like the opposite of the fan man.
So this guy Tex Rickard, a promoter, offers him a
Oh,
pass.
Tex Rickard. He's come up. Yeah.
Yes.
Famous boxing.
Where did he come up? Do you remember?
I imagine at least in the Jimmy Slattery episode, but various promotions.
And so he offers him a pass to the fight, and then Connelly's like, no, that...
No.
It takes away the fun.
Yeah.
Are
And
you going
so,
to give me another eye, too? Get the fuck out of here, dude.
Be off while you're at it.
and so he ends up in, without a pass, in Rickard's private box.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah. Yeah, it was like an extra, like, fuck you for, like, offering me a free pass. Not only am
I'm
I...
in your seat.
Yeah.
You schmuck.
I'm Tex now.
So in the 20s, then he
I am the Tex now.
he turns to, the other pugilist sport, politics.
Oh.
And he went to a cafe at a Democratic nomination session, and he just carried a door that he got from a cafe, and he was like, "Oh,
You guys using this?
just like I think you look like if you're carrying something, it's
Dude,
like
carrying a ladder or a box of tools or
A block of ice, yeah.
in this case, a door.
Yeah, well, there's probably someone going, hey, I can't take a chance on us not having a door if we need one.
yeah, 1928 in Houston, a cop recognizes him, handcuffs him to a bench. Picks up the bench.
Walks in. Hey,
Walks
I'm
in,
here with a bench.
And he's like, "Hey, they need this on the stage."
I was handcuffed to it so I wouldn't lose it.
No.
Yeah, it's like I work for the government. It's the nuclear football.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
They handcuffed me to this bench so that nobody accosts me. It's a very important bench.
You guys need this.
And so he would go every year to crash the Kentucky Derby, World Series, the car races in Indianapolis.
No shit.
And then they said, "Why don't you crash Army Navy football games?" And he's like, "That wouldn't be patriotic."
I gotta pay my dues.
Yeah, and the football's not that good anyway.
And so then he just kind of became this guy. In 45, he said he was mid-70s, retired, and
Retired from sneaking into places.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Could use him as a spy, man. Why'd the OSS hire him?
Yeah.
well, no.
Oh, damn it.
So then he was like kind of a greeter. He would tell people stories at the saloon about his life, and that's a great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you want.
And sometimes he would be an usher at political and sporting events.
He's gonna get
And
it,
so
but-
in
Like how tech companies hire hackers.
yeah.
in Chicago's Wrigley Field during the World Series between the Cubs and the Detroit Tigers, he stopped a suspicious character heading for a choice box seat. And he goes, "Who are you?" And the guy says, "PK Wrigley Jr." Takes out his identification. The guy goes, "That's bullshit." Throws him out. It was him. He got fired.
Well, he only knows how to get people in. Getting out is...
So he knows how to get himself in, yeah. And that is, James Leo One-Eyed Connelly.
Old one-eyed Connelly.
Oh. Yeah,
I got only one good eye, but I can spot a fake Wrigley stick of gum from a mile away.
PK.
PK.
What does that even stand
That's
for?
a fucking a soccer acronym.
Just,
Abbreviation.
in those days, you could really sneak in. And he wasn't causing any harm. He just wanted to see the shit.
He's got to get close.
Yeah.
The ADA would have something to say about him not being allowed to get so close ringside.
His peripheral vision is terrible.